And now is the time for you to come out. So as soon as you start engaging in these activities, these regulated activities given to you, as you are engaging them, then the fire that is hidden, the fire of knowledge hidden inside, will now start to reveal itself, just as it would start burning when you ignite it. This is how the whole thing works. So what all these prescribed duties given, services given in the temple, there is knowledge and realizations hiding inside. Every service or any service given to you, there is knowledge and realization hiding inside. Realized knowledge is hiding inside that service. But you will not get that knowledge, realized knowledge, unless you do the service. So when you start doing the service, now this knowledge will reveal itself to you. Just as the fire in the wood now reveals itself when you ignite. Do you get it? So this is how it all works. This is how it works. A fire in the wood, but when you ignite it only, you will see. But before that, you will not see. So similarly, when you see a lotus, it's something like a lotus stem, a lotus flower. You see, the lotus flower is growing from inside the water, okay? It's growing from inside the water. But when you don't know that the stem contains water up to the leaf. The leaf themselves contain water. The water is hidden inside the stem and it is transferred to the leaf through the stem. When you bring it out and you squeeze it, you see the water coming out of it. So similarly, there is realized knowledge hidden inside any devotional service that you are given to do. Yes, there is realized knowledge that is hidden in a subtle form. It becomes manifest when you start doing these services. So the art of doing those services should be encouraged so that purification can take place for anyone who has accepted to do those services. Because there is purification hidden inside. Purification of the heart is hidden inside the service that is given to you. You see? So Arjuna should encourage people to do those services rather than telling them to stop. Don't do this service. Himself, he doesn't want to do so. He wants to show the example that he is renouncing his prescribed duty because Jnana Yoga is more peaceful. You can go and sit down and meditate in the forest. Then that is more peaceful because there will be no violence involved. You want to renounce your duty because of fear. That is how they will see you. So here, that is why Krishna says, that's why he said, what did he say? I said renunciation without purification does not lead to any elevation. Rather, premature renunciation without spiritual realization will lead to fall down or degradation. Premature renunciation, it should not be encouraged, because if you do so, it will lead to degradation. So do your work, get purified, and when the time comes, you can renounce. When you go later, you can take Vanaprastha. But for now, do your work. Okay, so two men may be doing similar work, but each may be working with a different consciousness. Superficially, it may appear that their work is the same, but a Sakama worker is attached to the fruits of his work and to the specific nature of the work he does. Whereas the Niskama worker is detached from the fruits of his work, but remains attached to the work itself. So the quality of work is measured by their attachment or detachment. The same work, but one is working with attachment to the work, but detachment from the result. The other one is working with attachment to the work and attachment to the result also. So they get two different results. There are two different categories. One is working with attachment to result, other one is working with attachment to detachment to result. So their goal is different. Okay? The Niskama worker is detached from the fruits of his work, but remains attached to the work itself. The quality of the work is measured by their attachments. The highest stage of work occurs when one is detached from the fruits of his work and from the work itself. And he continues to work, but his impetus is simply devotional surrender to the order of Guru and Krishna. Then Krishna next explains the thinking of the ignorant, attached person. The ignorance and attached person, who somebody who is attached to the fruit of his labor, is that mindset. This is his thinking. In verse 27. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sabasa ahankara vimudatma kataham itimayate. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. The bewildered spirit soul, the spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. So, two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level. They may appear to be working on the same platform, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently, and that is the symptom of his nescience. He does not know that his gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as such, his body and mental activities to be engaged in the service of Krishna in Krishna consciousness. The ignorant man forgets that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Irisikesa, or the master of the senses, or the material body. But due to his long misuse of the senses in sense gratification, he is factually bewildered by the false ego, which make him forget the eternal relationship with Krishna, which make him forget his eternal relationship with Krishna. So that is it. The bewildered spirit soul thinks himself as the doer of activities. And he feels that it is by his own ability, by his own calculation, things are happening. He doesn't know that his body is made up of material energy. Earth, water, fire, air, that all these are belonging to the Supreme. He himself belongs to the Supreme, that he doesn't care for his origin. He's thinking that my ability, where did you get the ability? When did you get the ability? And who gave you the ability? He doesn't care. My ability, I'm a man. When did you become a man? Who designed your body? Who designed your body? Who gave you the sex? Either man or woman. Who determined whether you are to be a woman? Or... Did you independently choose the type of eyes you are having? Did you independently, consciously choose the type of nose you are having? Did you choose the type of mouth and ears you are having? Did you see the type of hands and legs you are having? Did you choose them? So if you didn't choose them, that means they were imposed on you by a superior authority. So how are you the doer? Anyway, we are not surprised because you have no knowledge of your real identity as a spirit soul, and therefore no knowledge about life after death. Therefore, no knowledge about yesterday. Anyway, so that is the point. That is the point. This verse is one of several in the Gita that discuss the doer, character. Because in this body, we say there are five factors that constitute success in any endeavor, in any work. There are 5 factors that constitute successful work. What are these 5 factors? We have the body, which is the field of activity. We have the soul, which is the Kshetra Gyan. We have the Kshetra, the body. We have the Kshetra Gyan, the occupant of the body, the soul. Then we have the senses, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge gathering senses. Then we have the endeavor itself, the endeavor we do. Then finally we have the super soul. These are the 5 factors that are responsible for success in any activity. So the counter, they discuss the doer. Here, Krishna explained that while the foolish conditioned soul thinks himself the doer, the one accomplishing his work, the work is actually being carried by the 3 modes of material nature, the gunas. Srila Prabhupada, however, refers to an ultimate doer in his purpose. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately is under the control of Krishna. That topic we discussed again in chapter 4. Krishna next explains the difference between the attached worker and the devotional worker. The difference between the worker who is attached to the fruit of his work and the worker who surrendered the fruit of his work to Krishna. There is a difference between the 2 of them, and that is what Krishna wants to talk about in the next 2 verses. Can somebody read the sloka for 28? Uh-huh. 28. And difficult to read again? Oh, wonderful. Tatva vitu mahabao guna kama vibhagayo guna gune supartanta iti matva nasajate.
Translation: one who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty Ham, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing where the difference between work in devotion and work for fruitive results.
Great.
Should I report?
Yes, read the purport.
The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realized that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally attached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahma, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Tattvavit. For he knows also his own factual position in relationship with the Supreme. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. One who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Supreme Personality of God, that is Bhagavan, is called Tattvavit. For he knows also his own factual position in relationship with. So we are all expected to become Tattvavits. As endeavoring Vaishnavas, we are all expected to become Sattvavits. Yes, we are all expected to become Tattvavits. We are expected as devotees to know that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has his form as the Paramatma or the Lord in the heart, and he has his impersonal form as Brahman. This is complete understanding of the features, three features of the Lord. We are expected to know this. And therefore, we are expected to see things in relationship with the Lord. We are expected to see everything in Krishna and also Krishna in everything. What's it about? Aribo? Yes, I'm in class. After class, I will do. Okay. So that is it. We are all expected to become Tattvavit. It is the Tattvavit who works with detachment. God, the Tattvavit knows that Krishna is the owner of everything. If you work for Krishna, if you work and offer the result to Krishna, there will be purification. And when you are fully purified, then of course, you can see the futility of this material world. You can realize your position very well, and you can then surrender to Krishna fully. So the Tattvavit is the one who is working, but is not attached to the fruit of his work. It's a Niskama Kama Yogi. It's a Niskama Kama Yogi. And at best, it becomes a Bhagavad Arpita Niskama Kama Yogi. A Niskama Kama Yogi who is purified, who now knows his relationship with the Lord, and who is working according to that relationship. So, but then the attached worker thinks himself to be the doer of activities, which is the previous verse. The attached worker he thinks himself to be doer of Prakriti Kriya Manani. Yes, his intelligence is bewildered. He's bewildered. But the Tattvavit is not bewildered. Tattvavit too, Mahaba. Oh. Tattvavit, he knows the absolute truth. Yes. He knows the absolute truth. So he does his work with knowledge and detachment. Let's start with it. Once one is a tattoo of it, automatically everything falls in place. As the Prabhupada writes in his purport, the knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in the material association. Awkward, because material world is full of miseries. It's Dukalayama Saswatam. It's an ocean of mysteries. The tattoo of it knows this. Such a situation is awkward, so it does not try to enjoy. We're given the analogy of the snake of time, the other time, that the snake has swallowed frog halfway, and the frog did not even know that he has been swallowed halfway. So all along, the frog is concentrating on trapping some flies that were passing. So if we stick out his tongue, like shooting with the tongue, you shoot, then he catches this and trap it. That was the business he was busy doing. But not knowing that he has been swallowed halfway. Sometimes he's swallowed up to the neck. Yet he does not know that he's been swallowed. His situation is called awkward. You get it? When we say awkward, it means even though the frog has been swallowed up to the neck, the frog does not know that he's been swallowed by the snake. This is the awkward position. Somebody who see him from outside, seeing the frog being swallowed to that extent, we see that, hey, we hold his head, this one is finished. There's no way to save. Even if some savior sees the snake and is running towards it, the snake will just swallow with one gulp. Before the person gets to him, he has swallowed him already. So in this world, every conditioned soul is swallowed by the snake of time. That snake, that python, is time. Time has swallowed everybody. Some are swallowed to the neck. Those who are above 70, they are swallowed to the neck.
I beg you.
But fortunately, you are not above 70 now. Those who are above 60, they are swallowed up to their armpits. From the leg up to the armpits. But while in that swallowed position, what are they doing? They are simply trying to catch some object of sense gratification. Trying to catch some object of sense gratification. Shooting their tongue.
The letter is practical.
They want then, of course, the next category, those who are swallowed to the waist. Prabhu, those who are swallowed to the waist. Unfortunately, many of the people in this class are there. All the legs is swallowed, including the thighs and the buttocks, all swallowed. Now it's on the waist. But actually, it does not know. Actually, those who are above 40. If you are above 40, okay, let's say 30. Let me include you well. If you are above 30, you are swallowed to the waist. But all what you are thinking of, you don't even know that you are swallowed, though. Big python, oh, a python that is like 2 miles long. Huh? Big python has swallowed you to the waist, but you don't even know that you have been swallowed to that much. You cannot remove your legs out again. 2 legs swallowed up to the waist. But all what you are after is sticking out your tongue, shooting your tongue. I want to catch this object of sense gratification. I want to catch this object of sense gratification. That's what frogs do now. Is that not how frogs trap the flies? They will just stay, they hide, they shoot their tongue when the fly is at close range. They catch it. We are all trying to catch the fly of sense gratification. This is what we are all endeavoring to do. Those who are working very hard, even to attend the class, they are still struggling to go and catch the fly. And for that, they cannot even concentrate. Sometimes they cannot participate. Sometimes they don't have their Bhagavad Gita with them. They are on the road.
On the road, always on the road.
Sometimes they're in a place where there is no light. If you tell them to read, they can't even read.
Wow, it's not consciousness.
They are all trying to catch the fly. Oh, frog. Oh, human frogs. How have you become so covered by the imperceptible nature of time that you don't know that you are already half swallowed?
When the python swallowed the frog entirely, what happened to the frog? Now you realize.
Until now, he has not realized. We are trying to awaken the frog to self-realization. This is what we are trying to do. He's not aware. Not aware. That is his situation. One word to describe his situation is not aware. He is not aware that he's been swallowed. So, anyway, I don't know whether any of you will escape. For those who are above 20, they are swallowed to the knee.
To
the knee already. The two legs, oh, not one, oh. Because if we swallow one, when it get to the joints there, it will be difficult in swallowing the whole thing. They may have to come out. So it's swallowing the two legs.
Some swallow to the two leg, they give up. If that frog die, two leg, die. Some swallow to the neck, they still exist, you know.
Yes, now. Yes, now.
Some swallow to the neck, the frog give up.
Yes.
So, I want swallow to
we are talking about those who are mostly fortunate. They will stay till 90 years. Only the mouth is above the snake mouth. Yet, they are sticking out their tongue, trying to trap. Some, the mouth is even inside, but the tongue managed to come out from the corner. Oh, Prabhu, sabotages. Oh, this is very serious. So this snake of time, the quality of the snake of time is imperceptible. You cannot see him with physical eyes, but he's doing his work uncompromisingly. That means he doesn't care whether you have money. He doesn't care whether you have no money. He doesn't care whether you are working in a company and you are about to take your salary. He doesn't care whether you are newly married. All what he knows is to just swallow. He doesn't care whether you have kids. All what the snake of time knows is to just swallow you. Everybody's on a queue to be swallowed. While he's swallowing this person, swallowing everybody simultaneously, they don't even know that they are being swallowed. So this is what is happening. Whether you are beautiful, you are ugly, you are tall, you are short, you are muscular, you are skinny, swallowing business is taking place. You cannot be too big for the mouth of the snake. His mouth is big. This snake has big mouth. Yes, he has been swallowing since time immemorial.
Never been a fool.
Once he swallow, you will digest. Sure. The concentration of acid in his stomach, the percentage, you can't even quantify it. It will digest you. So anyway, this is precarious. And therefore, the Prabhupada is saying here that the knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in the material world. So a Tattvavit, now you and me now, you and me, we have known, at least theoretically, that we are in an awkward position. And I've reminded you just now about the imperceptible operation of time, which have been similarized to that of a snake, the python. And figuratively, time is that past python. Snake knows. Therefore, we are in an awkward situation. The Tattvavit knows. Now you and me, you know, so we are almost Tattvavits. But that we have realized it properly. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows that you are a spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi, that have eternal relationship with Krishna, and I'm still here. My body is a prison house. and I must get out of this prison. So he becomes eager. A Tatwavit is eager to get out of the prison. But unfortunately, the non-Tatwavit, is a comfortable prisoner. There is a difference. The Tatwavit is an uncomfortable prisoner, but the non-Tatwavit, one who has not known his identity as eternal servant of Krishna, is a comfortable prisoner. A prisoner, when a prisoner is comfortable, that means he has accepted that the prison is okay for him. He has some position in the prison, maybe commander, or president of all the inmates in the prison. He has some position and is eaten by that position. That when they bring food, the food first, the president, the commander inspect the food, he carry the best to the president, and the remaining is shared. But after they have taken all the essentials, they share the rest to the inmates. This is what they do. So that person who is comfortable in that position is not thinking of coming out of the prison again. All his life is he wants to enjoy the prison or the position he has. Someone position might be very low. The position of maybe a clerk in the company, position of a secretary in the company, so position of a gate man in the company. But he is there and he is enjoying that position. All his calculations are based on how much he's going to get at the end of the month in that work and how much he's going to enjoy it. That is his only calculation. He's called a comfortable prisoner. And by the time people know that I'm not this body, I'm a spiritual, I'm an eternal part and parcel of God. I'm here in a strange environment. I want to get out. He is an uncomfortable prisoner. I guess you are all uncomfortable prisoners now. We want to get out of the mouth of the snake of time. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal, blissful, eternal bliss and knowledge. And he realizes that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. That is the prison of material life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. Okay, so you are the Tatwavit, at least a neophyte Tatwavit. You can be a neophyte Tatwavit and advanced Tatwavit. But luckily, we all know that we are not this body now. We are spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna. And we are trapped in this material environment. We need to get out. We are becoming uncomfortable here. Though some people in practicality, you see that even though they say they are uncomfortable, they are actually comfortable prisoners. Even after coming in contact with the devotional service, they are struggling very hard to gather this, to gather that, to gather this, to gather that, to gather this. They want to make a permanent residence in the temporary environment. This is what they are trying to do. But the wise one, the advanced Tattvavit, sees everything in relationship with Krishna. Therefore, whatever comes his way, he engages in the service of Krishna. So that is a fortunate one. Okay, so that is it. And that is it. That is it. That is it. That is it. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. Now consider material sufferings or whatever as the mercy of the Lord. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different phases, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, is called Tattvavid, for he knows his own partial position in relationship with the Lord. What makes the difference between the work in devotion and work in fruitive knowledge? The Tattvavid, or knower of the absolute truth, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I am not a guna, quality or mode of nature, nor any product of a guna, nor do I have any connection with any of the gunas or the products of the gunas. He is, as Srila Prabhupada said, convinced of his awkward position in the material association. Eternal soul trapped in temporary circumstances. Eternal soul imprisoned in the temporary material world with the prison suit is material body. Material body which is being swallowed by the snake of time imperceptibly. Oh, okay. You want to remain swallowed or you want to get out? The Tattva is already aware that it's being swallowed. So you want to get out. Therefore, on his own, he cannot get out because the snake of time is very formidable, very powerful. No man can defeat the snake of time. It's a universal snake. Unlimited universal snake. He cannot defeat it. So he surrenders, so the Tattvavid knows the Supreme Lord now. So he surrendered to the master of the snake. He starts serving the master of the snake. Then when the snake sees him, he just look at him. Are you truly serving my master? If you are not truly serving my master, I will swallow you. I'm hungry. The snake is looking at him. Are you truly serving my master? If you are not sincere in serving my master, I will swallow you. One day I will swallow you. The snake is talking like this. He's talking like this. Are you sincere in this endeavor? Huh? Are you chanting your rhymes sincerely? Are you following the principles? You respect the instructions of your guru? If not, I will treat you as a prisoner of war. I will swallow you. It is warning. So let us act properly so that this snake will not just swallow us like that. Boom. One touch. Finished. If you are truly convinced about your awkward situation in the material world, don't waste time. Take to the process very seriously. You take the devotional service very seriously. You are not doing it for anybody. You are not doing it for me. You are not doing it for anybody. You are doing it for yourself. So take to the process seriously and save yourself, unless you are not tired of the miserable conditions of material existence outside of devotional service. Devotional service is controlled by the internal potency of the Lord, and as such, it protects devotees. It covers them. It insulates. The devotional energy of the Lord insulates devotees from the onslaught, from the bombardment of the illusory energy of the Lord. Tan Mayato Buddha Bhajitam. Bhakti Hai Kaye Sam Guru Devatatma. Therefore, hold to the feet of your spiritual master. Take shelter of him as your life and soul. Serve him, get purified, and by his mercy, get out of this prison house. Get out of this prison house. I've told you. If you like, you take it. If you like, you leave it. Verse 29. Prakriti guna samuda, Prakriti guna samuda, Sanjati guna karmasu, Tana Krishna vid madan, Tana Krishna vido mandan, Krishna vina vishalayat, Prakriti
Translation.
guna, yes, Sajante guna karmasu, Tana Krishna Vidomadan Krishna Vina Vishalayet. Carry on.
Translation. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached, but the wise should not unsettle them. Although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Purport. Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of the material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called manda, or a lazy person without understanding of spirit soul. Ignorant men think of the body as the self. They accept bodily connections with others as kinsmanship. The land in which the body is obtained is their object of worship, and they consider the formalities of religious rituals to be ends in themselves. Social work, nationalism, and altruism are some of the activities for such materially designated persons. Under the spell of such designation, they are always busy in the material field. For them, spiritual realization is a myth, and so they are not interested. Those who are enlightened in spiritual life, however, should not try to agitate such materially grossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Such bewildered persons may be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as non-violence and similar materially benevolent work. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore Lord Krishna advised us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risk, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the act of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being. Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Those who are enlightened in spiritual life, however, should not try to agitate such materially engrossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Such bewildered persons may be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as non-violence and similar materially benevolent work. Yeah, we should not disturb them because everybody has his own level, and that is their level for now. The Lord wants them to act according to the regulations on their level so that they can be gradually elevated. They can get purified and gradually be elevated. But they said that the devotee is even more merciful than the Lord. The Lord is merciful, the devotee is more merciful. Yes, the devotee should not disturb them, but since what we are disturbing them about is going to give them purification and gradually elevate them, we disturb them nevertheless, because we are not disturbing them for personal sense gratification. We are disturbing them to try to bring them on track so that they will be happy while working in this particular world. So it is selflessly motivated. The attempt to bring them is selflessly motivated. It's an act of, it's absorbed in the fire of transcendence. So Krishna doesn't take it as an offense. We had the story of one guru who gave some mantra to a devotee, and that if we chant this mantra, you'll be liberated from all material miseries. Then the devotee said, yeah, he took the mantra from the guru. Then immediately, the guru told him that, look, this mantra should be kept secret because it's very potent. So keep it secret for you and you alone. The devotee went. He went to the marketplace. He knocked his gong. People gather, oh, I have something for you. Whenever everybody gathered, he introduced this mantra to them publicly. I have the secret that will solve all your problems in life. And what is that secret? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And he just gave it out to everybody. When the guru heard it, said, what? I told you this is a secret. I cannot keep it to myself. I get something good out to share it with others. I'm suffering. People are suffering because they don't know you. And I was suffering like that also when I didn't know you. Now I know you and I'm free. So what worked for me, we also work for them. That's why I went to give them. It is on this same basis and principle that Srila Prabhupada brought the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to the West. Srila Prabhupada brought Krishna consciousness to the West on this same principle. Because the pure devotees are very compassionate and their heart melts when they see the suffering of people. They cannot tolerate it. So they are ready to take any inconvenience to help others come out of their suffering. So the advanced devotees are like that. Therefore, they give mantra to everybody because they see that this is going to free everybody from. And that is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This International Society for Krishna Consciousness is born out of the compassion potency of the Lord, the compassion potency of the pure devotees, the compassion potency of Srila Prabhupada, the overflowing compassion potency of Srila Prabhupada. That's why we are all included in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So it is interesting. The devotee can do things. He doesn't want to preserve it for himself. He has to give it to others. Not that he's more merciful than the Lord, but the Lord enjoys it. The Lord wants you to do this in out of your own maturity, so that you'll be relishing it. Say, hey, this my devotee is mature. He has understood my innermost intention. I am the father of all living entities. I am Bija Pradapita. I don't want anybody to suffer, like a father would not want any of his sons to suffer. So this devotee knows this. That means he's a great servant of mine, very sincere devotee. So you'll be celebrating when you are giving it out to those who are not fit for it. After all, Bhakti itself is independent of your level of piety. It's transcendental, bestowed upon us by the mercy of the Lord. So rather than pushing one who lacks knowledge to renounce his false activities, the wise will engage him in activities that will lead to knowledge. This is the meaning of this. People are suffering in the material world, but the wise person who knows that he will not say, stop your work and come and engage in what I'm about to give. Say, do your work, but at the end of the work, give some of the results in the service of the Lord. Give some of the result of your work in doing charity, helping the needy. Give some of your work in philanthropic activities, some results. But best, you give it in the service of the Supreme Lord. So this is the mood. So indeed, the devotee's mood in approaching such persons is self-sacrificing and compassionate, as the Prabhupada reveals in his purport. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore, Lord Krishna advises us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men, to try to engage them in the arts, Krishna consciousness. So that we devise all kinds of means to reach them. So that we just cook prasadam. Prasadam, we go to there, we gather them, we give them prasad and tell them to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We engage them in chanting, and because we have fed their stomach, their mouths are open to chant the Maha Mantra. Happily, they will heartily chant the mantra when you give it to them. So we devise all kinds of means to give Krishna consciousness to other people after we ourselves become Krishna conscious. So emphasizing detachment for an unqualified person may lead him to worse condition if he's without positive work in Krishna consciousness. While the past several verses have stressed Niskama Kama, yoga, detached work, the next verse describes Bhakti. We have arrived at the doorstep of Bhakti now. All along we have been describing Niskama Kama Yoga, Niskama Kama Yoga, Niskama Kama Yoga, Niskama Kama Yoga. The next verse we want to read is addressing Bhakti. I want to describe Bhakti now. Verse 30.
Mahi Savani Kamani Sanya Sadhyatma Chetasa Nirasir Nimamo Bhutva Yudaswa Vigata Dwaraha. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Purport. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties, as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul, or the Supreme Soul, without personal consideration, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetas. Nirasiha means that one has to act on the order of the master, but should not expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is the real purport of Mai, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called Nil Mama, or nothing is mine. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stamped order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Jwara, or without favorishment or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Bhakti is described here, intensified, and some technical terms are defined here. One of those technical terms is Adhyatma Chetasa. Adhyatma Chetasa. Listen to the background. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal considerations, or in other words, one who is fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetasa or Chetas. Adhyatma Chetas. So this is the goal of all of us, all sadhana bhaktas, all bhaktas, Vaishnavas. This is the goal. Adhyatma Chetas. This is the goal. If you are doing something, what do you want to achieve by that thing you are doing? It is called sadhya. What is the goal? The goal, the ultimate goal, is to come to this understanding that the Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls. Therefore, when I depend solely and wholly on Him without personal consideration, or in other words, when I become fully Krishna conscious, I am called Adhyatma Chetas. So that is one definition. Are we ready to become such devotees? To accept the Lord fully and wholly as our everything? Yes, as our everything, solely and wholly. Are we ready to depend on the Lord sincerely? That when there is even appear to be no way, we know that with the Lord there is way. Do we have such faith? We need to develop that strong faith and conviction. Then our devotional service will take a different dimension. Yes, our devotional service will take a different dimension, higher dimension. Then again, Nirasi is defined. Nirasi means that one has to act on the order of the master, but should not expect fruitful result. That means we should be ready to serve Krishna with all our hearts without expecting any fruitful result. That is a Nirasi. And one who is a Adhyatma Chetas, he is a Nirasi also. Adhyatma Chetas is a Nirasi. And the example of the cashier is given. The cashier may count thousands of dollars. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in this world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. We have to have that full conviction. And because it is true, everything belongs to the Krishna. Everything is Krishna's, both the material and the spiritual energies. You are Krishna's property. This is the understanding. And if you walk in this consciousness, you walk in the consciousness with no sense of false proprietorship, then you are called Nirimama. So both Adhyatma Cheta, Nirasi, and Nirimama. Nirmama. Nothing is mine. Everything belongs to God. One who works, who have this understanding, they are three, all the three are one. It's the same person. That is to tell you how important it is to become somebody who is fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada is using different terminology to define this to us. In fact, Krishna used this terminology. Srila Prabhupada is clarifying it for us. That it is very crucial. It is the ultimate thing, ultimate desire of a Tattvavit. Is to come to this realization. Everything belongs to Krishna, nothing belongs to me. And one who was in that consciousness is a Nirasi. And such a person is also a Adhyatma Seta. And such a person is also Nirimama, is working in Nirimama consciousness. Nirimamo Nir Ahankara. Nirimamo Nir Ahankara. Nirimamo, nothing belongs to me. Nir Ahankara. Without any sense of false ego. He works for the pleasure of the Lord. Nirmamo Nirahankara. Such a person remain peaceful. Then another definition given is of the word Vigata Jwara. Vigata Jwara. Yes. Yes. And if there is any reluctance to execute such a stand order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relation, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become Vigata Jwara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. So it's one of the qualifications of a Tattvavit. A Tattvavit is Adhyatma Cheta, a Tattvavit is a Nirasi, a Tattvavit, he works with the Nirimama consciousness, and is also a Vigata Jwara. He's free from the feverish mentality or lethargy or reluctance. He goes out to work for the Lord without any reservation. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge. And all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above. That will lead one to the path of liberation. You've seen the path of liberation very clearly open now. That's, again, another summary is that Krishna orders Arjuna to fight, but he also described the consciousness in which Arjuna should perform his duty without desiring for profit and without any claim to proprietorship. Nirimama indicate freedom from the mode of passion, freed from lethargy. That hints at freedom from ignorance and doubt. Knowledge of the difference between the soul and the body is simply born of the mode of goodness. Sattva Sanjayate Kaman. But full knowledge is beyond goodness and is transcendental, as it indicates knowledge of the soul's eternal relationship with Krishna. When surrendering all your works unto me, Maya Sarvani Karmani is added to the other above mentioned requirements. Arjuna's Niskama Kama, fighting in goodness, becomes Bhakti Yoga. When you work as a matter of doing your duty without attachment to the result, without any sense of false proprietorship, offering all the result to Krishna. It turns to Bhakti Yoga. Detached. Yes, detached work done in devotion. Although Krishna has often requested Arjuna to act on the platform of detachment and duty, he now reveals his actual desire that Arjuna fight with devotion. So devotion is added. Earlier we were analyzing that at the beginning everybody is doing everything. Vikama add yoga to his activities. He become Kama Yoga. When Kama Yoga becomes a little bit advanced, it becomes Sakama. Sakama advances into Niskama. Niskama advances into Bhagavad Arpita Niskama. And that advances into Gyan Yoga. Gyan Yoga advances into Astanga Yoga. And when all are added, detachment plus knowledge plus meditation plus devotion, then it becomes Bhakti. So that's where we expected to reach. Arjuna should fight with devotion. As the Prabhupada explained further, this verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna instructs, the Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious, to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One who has to sacrifice everything for the good will of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord. He had only to execute his order. And the next verse describes the result of acting in this way. If you act in this way, what will be the results? That is the next verse. Okay. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, we'll see how. We can still address the next verse before we go. The next verse is verse 31, and after that we stop. Verse 31. Oh, can I go to 31. Ye me matami dam nityam anuti stanti manava Shradavando ananusyanto musyante te pikamavi. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow these teachings faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions.
Support. The injunctions to the knowledge of Godhead, Krishna, is the essence of all wisdom, and therefore is eternally true without exception. As the Vedas are eternal, so this truth of Krishna consciousness is also eternal. One should have firm faith in this injunction without envying the Lord. There are many philosophers who write comments on Bhagavad Gita, but have no faith in Krishna. They will never be liberated from the bondage of fruitive action. But an ordinary man with faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage of the law of karma. In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully detach the injunctions of the Lord, but because one is not resentful of this principle and works sincerely without concentration of defeat and hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the state of pure Krishna consciousness. Hare
Hare Krishna. So that is it. We have to receive the directions of Krishna without any reservation. We should take it with whole heart, swallow it, hook, line, and sinker. If we do so, we arrive already. That's the Prabhupada explained that the injunction of the Supreme Personality of God and Krishna is the essence of all the wisdom, and therefore is eternally true without exception. Krishna is ever fresh. Whatever Krishna has said with his mouth, it is true, 100%. So if somebody just develop that faith and embrace and swallow whatever Krishna has given without any mental interpretation, that person is so fortunate that he's in touch with the ultimate goal of life, and his life is actually successful. It's better than all the yogis, meditators, the philosophers. Just bhakti to Krishna. One touch is there. So that is a very, very wonderful thing, to develop firm faith in Krishna. You know, Krishna consciousness is also eternal. And once you have firm faith in this injunction, without envying the Lord, envy what is keeping us here, just accept what Krishna said and try to carry it out. And you see, you get the best results. There are many philosophers who write commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita that do not have faith. They will never be liberated from bondage to fruitive action. That means Bhagavad Gita should be accepted in the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. Can anyone still remember the spirit of Bhagavad Gita? What is the spirit of Bhagavad Gita? Raghupati, the latest comer. You know we have class. You are the youngest student among us, and you are coming at the end of the class. You are wiser than all of us, Abi. If you have to attend class, attend from the beginning. If you have to attend class, attend from the beginning. You wait until when we are almost done, you come and show face. Very intelligent. Abi? Things are not done like that. And this is what Krishna is saying. Receive what is given you without any mental adjustment. Receive it. Those who receive it without, that means they are free from envy. You accept the Lord, whatever He has said, with firm faith and conviction, and you are there. If an ordinary, even if an ordinary man who does not know anything about meditation or yoga accepts what He has said with full faith and conviction, that person has gotten the ultimate goal of life. Yes. Yes, you get the ultimate. But an ordinary man with firm faith in the eternal injunctions of the Lord, even though unable to execute such orders, becomes liberated from the bondage to the Lord. Come on, even if he is unable to implement it. So firm faith means we should receive the whole thing with full heart, as a full package. If you want to do Bhakti Sastri, you don't project mediocrity in your attitudes. If you want to attend, attend. If you don't want to do, nobody forces you to do. It's our duty to encourage everybody, but anybody who doesn't want to do, nobody forces the person to do. Because you are doing it for yourself. How can you look at us? You come, yesterday the same thing. You come towards the end. Today also you have come towards the end. It's an insult to all those who are there. It's an insult to the platforms, an insult to the whole program. So don't do that. If you want to attend, you know the time when we are starting class. You attend from there. You should. So some of you are trying to irritate me. You are young boy, so we consider you, but your attitude should be even more than everybody else. Once it's time for the classes, you just come for it. We are considering your age, we are considering your attitude, we are considering everything. Otherwise, you are not mature for this class. You are not mature for this class. You should consider that we are considering many things before we allow your age to participate in this program. And if you are projecting those mediocrity kind of attitude towards attendance, from the beginning, you are spoiling everything. That means you don't appreciate the opportunity we are giving to you. So if you want to attend class from the beginning. I don't want to see that, be seeing that again. If you want to attend class from the beginning. You don't wait and come towards the end. What about all the things we have said? They are not important, have you? You don't attend classes like that. You don't wait and come at the end of the class. Especially you are the youngest among everybody here. How could you do that? You are insulting the platform. That means this is not meant for you. And you are not appreciating, we are just giving you opportunity to participate in it. Because we're supposed to consider your age first. But you just come anytime you like, you come anytime you like, you take it, it's a joking thing. Okay. Having said that, we want to say, even if somebody who is not in knowledge embraces the Krishna, the ultimate goal of life, then such a person get purified. Even if he's unable to follow, even if he's unable to follow everything as is laid down, provided he has a strong faith that whatever Krishna has said is the truth, that he wants to practice it. Such a person gets purification, serious purification, and he will become a devotee, and he will become free from the bondage to karma. See? In the beginning of Krishna consciousness, one may not fully discharge the injunctions of the Lord. But because one is not resentful, he's not doubting what Krishna is saying, he's not resenting the principles, and he works sincerely without consideration of defeat or hopelessness, he will surely be promoted to the stage of pure Krishna consciousness. This is how beautiful this process is. It's a very beautiful process. And we should not joke with it. We should not joke with it. It's a very beautiful process. Even if you are not pure, provided you have strong faith and conviction, and you take to the process, and you embrace it with your heart like that, I'm telling you, purification will take place, and eventually you will become pure. Krishna will remove any obstacle on your path. Your sincerity is needed. Your full conviction and faith in the words of Krishna is needed. That is enough. That is enough. Even if you cannot practice very well, provided you have firm faith, as long as you remain on the boat of transcendent, purification will take place. And as much as a green mango remains on the tree, it will become ripe in due course of time. Because the basic qualification is firm faith and conviction. And you are there with it. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. And in this verse, Krishna spoke of the faithful, the faithful, knowledgeable, non-envious person. Faithful, knowledgeable, non-envious person. And in text 32, we hear of the defect of developing those qualities. That if you don't have faith, if you are not knowledgeable, and if you are envious of Krishna, what will be the results? The verse we spoke about, it talks about, it glorifies those, it glorifies those, and the result of one who develops that kind of attitude of submission, full conviction, faith, and accepting what Krishna has presented as the ultimate. Such a person, even if he is unable to practice properly, he will be liberated from the bondage of karma, and eventually he will become pure, and he will be a powerful devotee. But on the other hand, those who are faithless, those who are envious, those who are not knowledgeable, and are not willing to acquire proper knowledge through the proper process, what happens to them? That is the next verse. We still have 3 minutes. So we can utilize our 3 minutes very well. Verse, let me read the verse. Yeah, the purport is very short also, so we can still finish that one. Ye tueta dabiasu yanto nanuti stanti me matam salvagyana vimudam stam vimudam stam vidina stachetasa. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Somebody should read the purport. Okay. I am that body. I will read the purport. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated herein. The flaw of not being Krishna conscious is clearly stated herein. As there is punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Executive Head, so there is certainly punishment for disobedience to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A disobedient person, however great he may be, is ignorant of his own self and of the Supreme Brahma, Param Brahma, and the personality of Godhead due to vacant heart. Therefore, there is no hope of perfection in his life. There is no hope of perfection of life for him. So those who are not Tattvavids, this is the result. No, they are envious of the Lord. You know, they disregard the scriptural injunctions. And they are faithless. Such persons are, how did Krishna say it in the translation? Say, but those who out of envy disregard the teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of knowledge, all knowledge, befooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. So I hope we will not want to be that. The question arises, according to Srila Baladev Vidyabhushana, why do people who transgress your desire not fear punishment from you, as criminals who fear punishment from a king? And the next one, Krishna answered. It's a question. It's like Baladev Vidyabhushana. The question arises, according to Baladev Vidyabhushana, why do people who transgress your desire not fear punishment from you, as criminals should fear punishment from a king? The next verse, Krishna answered him. You see? People don't fear punishment. They're supposed to fear punishment. You are enjoying all the things of God. You are enjoying the sunlight. You are enjoying the moonlight. You are enjoying water. You are enjoying everything of the Lord. Everything. Your existence, your body is made up of the Lord's energy. Everything around you, the air you breathe, the water you drink, the sunlight, everything, the earth. Oh, below, you are enjoying all this. And you are careless about the person who owns them. You are a criminal. Then why is it that such criminals are not afraid of reaction from the owner? You know, as criminals, you're supposed to fear punishment from the government. But human beings are freely offending the Lord, disregarding him. Why is it so? This is the question that is being subtly asked. And we will see the question, in the answer in the next verse. Krishna. So Krishna, do we see that? 33. Hey. Sadri Sancheta Saswasya Prakriti Gyanavam Api Prakritim Yanti Bhutani Nigraha Kim Karishyasi Sadrisam Chitasis was for Sadrisam Chistatis was ya Prakriti Gyanavam Api Prakriti Yanti Bhutani Nigra Kim Karishyasti. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? So people are acting according to their nature. What can repression accomplish? You don't need to repress anything. So let's just read the purport. That Maya, despite one's intelligence, despite one's intelligence, is invested with the potency to push a conditioned soul away from Krishna consciousness. Yes, Maya is very powerful. It has two features. Maya has two features. One is pulling down. It's called the pulling down feature of Maya. And the second feature of Maya is covering. One will pull you down, then the other one will cover the person completely. Pull you down, then cover you, so that any level you find yourself, you see it to be pleased to. Just like a rat thinks that is in heaven. His rat life is the best life in this world. A snake thinks that the snake life is the best life, going from hole to hole, biting people. A pig thinks that his pigly life is the best. So that he can eat all kinds of tons of stew and still be happy. Yeah? And maggot in the worm, in the stew, he also think that, hey, that maggot life is very nice. So everybody thinks that his life is the best. The fish think that, hey, my living inside water is the best. The hippopotamus thinks that his life is the best. The elephant thinks that his life is the best. The tiger thinks that his life is the best. Lion thinks that his life is the best. The crow thinks that his life is the best. The vulture thinks his life is the best. This is due to the covering. They are also so, but they are so covered by the modes that they have accepted that their condition as the best in life. So in that, they eat all kinds of abominable things. They do all kinds of abominable activities, and they don't have the intelligence to relate it to somebody who owns all these things, and therefore they're becoming thieves, enjoying the things without considering the owner, taking the property without the proprietor. And the question, why are they not afraid, is because they are covered by the modes. Covered by the modes. Anyway, let's just read the purport and stop here. Somebody want to read the last purport today for today?
Purpose. Unless one is situated on the transcendental platform of Krishna consciousness, he cannot get free from the influence of the modes of material nature, as it is confirmed by the Lord in the 7th chapter, verse 40. Therefore, even for the most highly educated person on the mundane plane, it is impossible to get out of the entanglement of Maya simply by theoretical knowledge, or by separating the soul from the body. There are many so-called spiritualists who outwardly pose as advanced in their science, but inwardly or privately are completely under particular modes of being, which they are unable. Academically, one may be very learned, but because of his long association with material nature, he is in bondage. Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of the material entanglement, even though one may be engaged in his prescribed duties in terms of material existence. Therefore, without being fully in Krishna consciousness, one should not give up his occupational duties. Therefore, without being full in Krishna consciousness, one should not give up his occupational duty. One should suddenly give up his prescribed duties and become a so-called yogi or transcendentalist artificially. It is better to be situated in one's position and to try to attain the inner consciousness under superior training. Thus, one may be free from the clutches of Krishna's Maya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we cannot become free from the clutches of Krishna's Maya because this is Daivi. It is divine energy. Unless one surrenders to Krishna. Unless one surrenders to Krishna, you cannot become free from it. Otherwise, everyone is helplessly entangled and they are functioning according to the modes. You cannot become free unless you surrender to the master of Maya. That's why I say, what is that slogan? Mashita Salvador Gani. That is 1855. Mashita Salvador Gani. Mat Prasada Tarisiasi. Ata Shet Twam Ahankara Nas Rusiasi Vinanxiasi. Nas Rusiasi Vinanxiasi. If you don't know surrender to Krishna, you definitely will be lost. If you act according to your false ego, you will be lost. But by my mercy, you can cross over the insurmountable modes of material nature. Otherwise, you'll be lost. Then he said, Daivi Yesagunama Yi Mama Yaduratiaya. Daivi Yesagunama Yi. This divine energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. But for one who surrenders something, can easily cross the Maya betam tarantit. So this is it. So anyway, Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for your attendance. Purushotama Yatra Prabhu, Balabhadra Prabhu, Dr. Elvis, Raghupati Prabhu, even though you come late, at least you stay to the end. We appreciate that. Then Rama Priya, Prana Priya, OKON. Hare Krishna. Thank you. See you on Thursday. By His grace. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Somebody says Jai now. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We should take advantage of Krishna consciousness and become free. Haribol. Enjoy your Sunday program.